Hey there, everybody. A couple days ago, I saw Beasts of the Southern Wild, and I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it an 8. It's actually been a couple days since I've seen it. I haven't had time to record. It was very emotionally powerful. If I'm not giving it a higher rank than an 8, it's solely because it's very heart-wrenching, and it's uplifting, but it's uplifting in a way where this irrepressible spirit is having to struggle against just the worst hardships, and it's just emotionally powerful and emotionally wrenching, and it's not fun to kind of sit through. It's a good movie. It's about a small town in Louisiana, I believe, called Bathtub. It exists right on the ocean. This takes place in post-Katrina, New Orleans. There's been a massive levee built, and it has basically cut off Bathtub from the world, and as they put it, has left them to pretty much die. And in Bathtub, it's a small community. I don't know how many people, 50, 100 people. Two of the residents is a single father and his daughter. He's trying to raise her, all while falling ill and having, mental problems of his own. He was certainly a hardcore dad. But, they live in a very hardcore place, and again, he pretty much espouses that he's teaching her to survive and prepare for the worst that the world has to offer, which already seems to be heaped upon them. The film is gorgeous. I've actually did a mild amount of research, not too much, basically because I did not want to forget the names of the powerful actors. That's really, there are more, there's a cast in it, but the film is focused on two central characters. And most of the film, I would say, 90%, is either watching one person by themselves or watching the mother and daughter, or the father and daughter together. So, it's basically a showcase for two actors, and they are both amazing, and that's why I wanted to get the names right. The little girl's name who steals the show, I don't know how old she is, 7, 8. She's fantastic. Really just an intense, amazing debut on her behalf. And her name is Qavanzani Wallace. I've never seen, again, this is her debut, just a little kid, and boy, she's got power beyond her years. Her dad is played by Dwight Henry, who I'm also unfamiliar with. He looked vaguely familiar, but perhaps he's a character actor, but he, this is a breakout for him. He was, fantastically intense. The film looks gorgeous. It's filled with the wonder of nature. It's shot on location in New Orleans. You're right there. You feel like you're right there. You're out in the middle of the woods. It's filled with wildlife. It's just an absolute gorgeous film to look at. It's very well shot. This is a very emotional film, and I think that a lot of the scenery match the emotion. We're seeing two humans at their most raw, and they're out in the middle of the forest. So it's a very natural film. It's very naturalistic. These are humans behaving in a very, a human way, which means, very animalistic. So there's not much of society to affect the behavior, and there's not much society in the film. It looked gorgeous. Again, this is like a very personal story. All the characters are really fleshed out. Again, it's basically a character study of two different people. So they're definitely well fleshed out. There's not too many other characters to worry about in the film. But I just had this feeling that they were locals, townspeople, because they're very real. And I think that added to the authenticity of the picture. Good special effects. There's a lot of kind of weirdness in here when it comes to animals. So they're obviously created by special effects, and I thought they looked really good, especially for being an independent film. Let's see, can I tell you who wrote and directed it? I wanted to get the actors in there, definitely. Directed by Ben Zetlin, who I am unfamiliar with. But it was a good movie. Again, if I'm not giving it a 10, it's because it's just, even though it was good, I don't ever see myself watching it again, just because it's, in a way heartbreaking. But it is inspirational. I mean, we're watching this 6-year-old, 7-year-old girl struggle through life, and it's a life that you wouldn't want. I mean, it obviously exists, and it's just something you don't want to think about. You just want to go about your happy little life, and this film demands that you pay attention. So it's, heartbreaking. So it's not something that you go, oh gosh, I gotta watch that again. But it's also inspirational because she does rise above it and becomes her own little warrior, and it's it's very emotional. The music is really good. It's composed of like a local soundtrack, local music, and a score. I thought both were fitting, well moving. I mean, really, it's just a nicely created piece of art. Very focused at delivering its message, and it's one of inspiration, I think, more than anything. But very powerful, very powerful, and hard to watch sometimes in terms of the struggle. The struggle that this family, these two people, have to go through, and really, when you put yourself in her shoes, it's just sad. So it very moving, very moving, very, very raw, very beautiful. I don't really know what else to say about it, other than I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and it's too early in the year, and I don't know if we'll see this girl, around Oscar time. I definitely think she, deserves to be mentioned, at least when everyone's talking about it. But I don't know if she'll get nominated. For being so young, it was, a fantastic performance. So it's just, if you marvel at child actors and what they can do sometimes, then this certainly fits in with that. So I think that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. I really enjoyed it. Check it out sometime if you are a fan of dramas or, family stories. This is a family story, but it's just told through the spectrum of reality. There's not much sugarcoating going on here. So there is a lot to be learned from it. So that is Beasts of the Southern Wild, and it was a very emotionally powerful flick, and I give it a solid 8. Thank you very much.